recorded, which means that I am making everything up as I go along. Not quite true. I do know a couple things, and I will be sure to tell you those things while we are out there. But before we do head out, I do have a couple rules. My number one rule that every single person on the truck has to follow, yes, including you, I can see all of you in my mirror, is everybody has to stay completely seated the whole time we're out there, including the little ones. They're welcome to sit on your lap so that they can see better. Just make sure that is where they stay. Don't hold them up, stand them up, hold them out the sides, or toss them out the side of the truck. You would be surprised what people will actually do to their own children. Number two, if you have any food, make sure you put it away right now. We're actually out here to help protect these animals. They don't do so well on a diet of people food. If you have a camera, you may want to put it on an action or a sports setting. It gets really bumpy out there. Don't want you to not get any good pictures. Make sure you take your pictures fast, take them often. You want to come back from the safari thinking you have too many pictures, not that you didn't get enough. And for loose items, if you do happen to lose something, go ahead, raise your hand up real high. I will raise mine as well. We will both wave it goodbye. Alright, we're heading into the reserve right now, though, and it looks like we're off to a great start. There's actually animals on either side of the truck. On the left-hand side, you can see that large tan animal with the white stripes walking straight at us. That is a greater kudu. They're the second tallest antelope in Africa. A full-grown male can get up to be about 750 pounds. The large orange animals hanging out just behind there are bongo. Bongo are also called the ghosts of the forest because they are so shy. On the right-hand side, large dark brown animals with black and white stripes on their legs. Before you say it, no, they are not zebras. They are okapi. They are more closely related to giraffe than they are related to zebra. So shy, they were only recently discovered in 1901 by the Western world. More greater kudu on the left-hand side. A couple bongo hiding out in the bushes way back there. Now, in the forest here, animals tend to be pretty shy, although you probably wouldn't believe it from the way we started off. They're really shy, they have really good camouflage. All those stripes really help animals blend into the trees and the bushes out here. So you gotta make sure you keep your eyes peeled. Off on the left-hand side, don't miss it. It kind of looks like a big rock. There's a rhino. It's kind of a different color. There's a stump right in the middle of that clearing. If you look just to the right of that stump, there's a rhino hanging out. They have good camouflage too. Black rhino are incredibly strong animals. They can charge at speeds of 35 miles per hour. They also have almost impenetrable skin. Unfortunately, we have less than 5,000 of these animals left in the world today, and that includes found on zoos and reserves like this one. That is because of poaching. Poachers will destroy the entire animal just to get at those horns. A rhino horn is made of keratin. Keratin is the stuff that makes up your hair and your fingernails. I've got plenty of it, so I really don't know why the poachers are going after the rhinos. We're going to head over towards the Safi River area. The river tends to be a little bit more open. It's got a lot more water, of course, so we tend to find some different animals when we go over that direction. Looks like this tour group on the right-hand side has come across a hippo. If you look down there, you might be able to catch a glimpse of it. Now, where there's one hippo, there tends to be more. So I'm going to keep going down the river, see if maybe we can get a little bit better view of a couple more of them. They do tend to spend most of their days just under the water like that, with just their eyes, ears, and nose poking out. They typically only come up out of the water at night, or maybe when it cools off, to browse on grasses. And it looks like there are a couple more on the left-hand side just behind that island over there. You can just barely see them. They kind of look like big rocks under there. Now, when they do come out and eat those grasses, they have to eat a lot, about 150 pounds every single day. The baby hippo is born weighing about 85 pounds, but a full-grown male can get up to be about 5,000. That's not a great example of why you should eat all of your vegetables. I don't know what is. Large tan and white birds on that island are pink-backed pelicans. They get their name from the colors that they get during their mating season. Pretty good view of those hippos. You can see them just under the water. They'll actually sleep under the water as well. They come up every couple of minutes and just take a breath, and they'll go right back down to continue sleeping. Now you guys are doing an excellent job staying seated for me. I do appreciate it. Just remember that rule goes double when we go over bridges. They keep telling me I'm supposed to come back with the same number of people that I left with. I'm really trying hard to do it. It's my New Year's resolution. And I don't want to lose anyone to those Nile crocodile down on the left-hand side. They are real. They do move. I have seen it. Crocodile just don't like to move very much. They like to conserve their energy. They don't want to move unless they absolutely have to. Don't be fooled, though. They've got about 2,000 pounds per square inch of power in those jaws. You do not want to get friendly with a crocodile. We're going to head over towards a different area of the reserve right now, though. It's a completely different ecosystem. Speaking of different, check out this tree on the right-hand side here. This is a baobab tree. It looks like it's upside down, but those are its branches, not its roots. It can go leafless for 7 to 10 months out of the year and can store thousands of gallons of water in its trunk during times of drought. Now this right here is the very best view of the whole reserve. The Serengeti grasslands stretch for hundreds of miles, and they are the superhighway for millions of migrating animals every single year. This is that wild Africa that we're all working so hard to protect. I already see a couple animals if you look straight up on the right-hand side. Some white-bearded wildebeests hanging out over there. We're going to go around and see if we can get a little bit closer to look at those. Now out here on the savanna, it's a great example of an ecosystem that works together. Out here, elephants are a lot like bulldozers. They knock over trees, make room for new plants to grow. Giraffe trim up the trees to let more light in. Antelope and zebra mow down the grasses, while the little nibblers like warthogs and gazelle will trim up the edges. In a balanced ecosystem like this one, there's more than enough food to go around for everybody. Coming up on the right-hand side, that large tan animal is a Patterson's eland. Eland are the largest antelope in Africa. A full-grown male Patterson's eland can get to be about 2,000 pounds. They can also jump 6 to 8 feet up in the air. Both males and females have those twisted horns on top of their heads. Coming up on either side of the truck, these tall pillars are termite mounds. They're as hard as concrete. Because of that, lots of animals like elephants will use them as scratching posts. Once they get worn down by the elephants, they look kind of like the one off on the right-hand side there. Smaller animals like antelope and gazelle will jump up on top of them to try and keep an eye out for predators like lions in the tall grass. Looks like we'll get a really good look at these wildebeests over here on the left-hand side. You may also know them by a different name. You may know them as gnu, spelled G-N-U. They get that name because of the noise they make, which is a lot like gnu. They also have one of the largest migrations in the world. Millions of animals every single year will run through the African plains. Coming up on the right-hand side, some large reddish-brown animals. They have giant horns. Those are Ankole cattle. Now those horns can get about 6 feet across. Straight up ahead, don't miss, hiding out in the trees way on top of that hill, there is a giraffe. Kind of hard to see, but you never thought it would be hard to find a giraffe. They're the tallest animals on the savanna, standing anywhere from 18 to 20 feet tall. As we come around, you might be able to see the back end of it behind one of those bushes. A couple of them up there.
I didn't see them before.
But they actually have incredible camouflage. They look a lot like tree trunks themselves, and those spots look a lot like the shadows from leaves. Now the horns on the Ankole cattle on the right-hand side actually act like a big air conditioner. They have blood flowing through those horns. As the blood flows through, it gets cooled off, it flows right back down, and it cools off the whole rest of the animal. They're also the only domesticated animal that we have on our reserve. They were domesticated by the Watusi people, so they're also called Watusi cows sometimes. Coming up on the right-hand side, a large tawny brown animal. It's got a white ring around its hind end there. That is a waterbuck. True to their name, waterbuck tend to found in waters, in watery areas, marshes, places like that. They also have an oily secretion on their hide, which helps keep them waterproof. A lot of people think that's really gross. I think it's awesome. As we come around, a little bit better view of some of the giraffe up on the left-hand side there. There's a couple of them hiding out in the trees on either side of us, actually. They stand anywhere from 18 to 20 feet tall.
Yeah.
These ones are sitting down on the right-hand side. Now these are Maasai giraffe on the right. Maasai giraffe have very irregularly shaped spots. They're a little bit darker than some of the other species of giraffe. There's a reticulated giraffe on the left-hand side. Reticulated giraffe have a nice, neat, even net-like pattern all over their bodies. And in fact, they get their name from the Latin word reticulata, which means net.
There's one standing on the left, too.
You may also be surprised to learn that giraffes actually have the same number of bones in their neck as we do. They only have 7 bones in their neck. They just have really, really, really big ones. We're going to head over towards an area that we like to call Monkey Point. We call it that because we've had a lot of luck in the past finding a troop of mandrills over there. Mandrills do tend to be kind of shy and they like to move around a lot, so we don't always get to see them. But I always like to head over and check it out just in case. Ooh, and it looks like on the right-hand side I do see an elephant over there. Now I can tell you that that is a boy elephant, and the reason that I know is because he's all on his own. When it comes to elephants, females and babies make up the herds. Males go off on their own once they reach maturity. And there's also a troop of mandrills hanging out at Monkey Point on the left-hand side here. So we got pretty lucky. They'll hang out in groups of anywhere from 60 to 100 individuals, and a full-grown male can weigh up to about 100 pounds. We're going to head over towards elephant country now, though, just over a bridge by the red clay pits, so sometimes I can get a radio station in or something out here. Let me see. Is everything good? There we go. You guys are welcome to sing along if you know the words. That's right.
Yeah, let's do it. Go.
Yeah, so that's usually the way that I take over to elephant country. As you can see, we're not going to take it today. I washed out about a week ago, but my friends told me about this detour bridge just up ahead. They said it's great. It takes you right over to the red clay pits, so I guess we'll just go ahead and check it out. Alright, well just like that last bridge, make sure everyone's staying seated for me, but I don't see any crocodiles, so it shouldn't be a big deal. But like I said, just over here, I guess we'll find the red clay pit, see if we can find some more elephants or something. Oh gosh, everyone hold on, lean right, lean right, lean right.
Oh my God.
Okay, stay there. I think we got it. Almost good.
Oh my.
Okay, front wheels are over, don't worry, I am safe. There's the back wheels too. Alright, I think we made it. 2, 3, 4. Alright, I think I still got everybody. Well, what did we learn? My friends are jerks, and I'm not going to trust them again. But we did make it to the red clay pits, so that's good. Oh, and it looks like there are some tusk marks in the clay. If you look on either side of the truck there, that means the elephants have come through. They actually eat the clay to get the minerals out of it, kind of like how we eat our vitamins. If you look way off in the distance on the left-hand side, I do see an elephant over there, kind of towards where the watering hole is, so let's see if we can get a little bit closer. Now, male elephants, like I said, go off on their own after maturity. Elephant maturity is anywhere from 13 to 15 years old. It's the second longest childhood in the animal kingdom. It's second only to people, which lasts anywhere from 18 to 35 years. They do have a lot to learn during that childhood, though. They have to learn how to find food, water, where to migrate to, how to communicate with each other. We learn a lot of this from an older female called a matriarch. She's usually a grandma or great-grandma. Everyone kind of looks up to her within the herd. So you can see a couple different kinds of, or sizes of elephants over on the left-hand side there. A younger one, medium-sized one, and an older female over there as well. Now, if you've ever wondered if there's anything that you could possibly do to help out animals like this all the way from home, there is. It's really easy, and it involves your cell phone. All that we ask you to do is to recycle your old cell phone when you get a new one. They use a mineral in them called coltan. It's mined in the areas where animals like elephants, rhinos, gorillas all live. So if we can leave that alone, if we can recycle those cell phones, we don't have to go mining for it. We can leave their habitat alone. But you never thought an elephant would care about what you do with your cell phone. You can see on this elephant on the left-hand side, it's got a bunch of dirt over its back. That is for a great reason. Elephants have very sensitive skin, just like we do, but it's really hard to get sunscreen out here on the savannah, so they have to make their own. They toss all that stuff over their back to try and protect themselves. Down on the left-hand side, some greater flamingo. They are the largest and lightest pink of all the flamingo species. They get that color from the food they eat, which is brine shrimp, full of beta-carotene. If they didn't eat that, they'd just be a plain white color, and no one would find them very interesting. Baby flamingo is born a light gray color. It takes it about a year before it becomes fully pink. Oh, and on the right-hand side, don't miss my favorite animal. That is a white rhino back there. Now, they used to be one of our best success stories out here in Africa. Their numbers are down in the hundreds, but thankfully, due to conservation efforts, we were able to actually get their numbers in the thriving levels into thousands. Unfortunately, in recent years, their numbers have started to drop again, and in fact, on some reserves like this one, they have their own armed guards following them around. In fact, if we don't do anything about it soon, we very well may lose these animals within the next couple years. Coming up on the left-hand side on top of that hill, though, a couple cheetahs hanging out taking a break. They're the fastest land animals in the world. They can sprint at speeds of up to 60 miles per hour. Only for a couple seconds at a time, though, then they do have to take a break. I don't blame them, I'd have to take a break, too. They're also one of the only cats that hunts primarily during the daytime. Most cats hunt at night using the element of surprise, but cheetahs can run really fast, and of course they've got that great eyesight. Coming up on the left-hand side, dark brown antelope with a white face hanging out over there. That is a bontebok. There are a couple of them. Make sure you get a good look at those. They are almost completely extinct in the wild. Reserves like this are one of the best places to keep them because we can try and keep them safe, bring their numbers back up, and if you look way behind where they are, there's a scimitar horned oryx as well, that large white animal. Same deal with them, almost completely gone in the wild, so hopefully we can try and protect them by having them here on these reserves.
There's a lion.
Looks like on the left-hand side I do see a couple lions hanging out up there. Hopefully our antelope are safe, and I think they will be because lions spend most of their day pretty inactive. About 18 to 20 hours of their day is just spent lying around. Ha ha ha. If you have a pet cat, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. A couple more rhinos on the right-hand side as well if you want to see those.
Took me 3 years.
When it comes to lions, it's usually the females who do most of the hunting. Males can and certainly will hunt. Females just do most of it. Of course, that's the male with the big mane all over his face. The female's the one who doesn't have that. And a male lion can get to be about 8 feet long. Some warthog burrows down on the left-hand side there. Warthogs will actually dig those themselves back up into them, have just their razor-sharp tusks pointing out for protection. Some ostrich coming up on the left-hand side as well. They are the tallest birds in the world. They can't fly, but they can run at speeds of up to 40 miles an hour. Some ostrich eggs as well. Each of those eggs weighs about 2 to 3 pounds to hold the largest birds in the world. Rhinos again on the right-hand side. Now, white rhinos, their name does not refer to their color. Their name is just a mistranslation of the Afrikaans word weit, which means wide. refers to their broad, wide mouths, useful for browsing at grasses out here on the savanna.
Yeah.
Now, it isn't all doom and gloom nowadays. In fact, we've gotten some extra funding here in our reserve, which is great news for us. Lets us do more of it, what we're trying to do. More funding means that we've been able to expand, and expansion means taking care of more animals and having room for them. So I always like to take people through some of our newer areas, kind of show it off a little bit to them. Show them what we're... And it looks like it's going to turn out nicely for us, because if you look up here on the left-hand side, there's a herd of zebra hanging out. The zebra are incredibly strong and protective of each other. In fact, a kick from a zebra can actually break the jaw of an attacking lion, so you do not want to make a mama zebra mad. Every zebra has its own individual stripe pattern as well, just like our fingerprints. It's the best way to tell zebras apart. So you better be paying close attention. There will be a quiz later. Now, unfortunately, this does bring us to the end of our safari. I'm sorry about that, but I gotta bring you back sometime. Hope you enjoyed yourselves, though. Saw at least most of the animals that you wanted to see. I think we had a pretty good run out there. Make sure you go back home, brag to all your family and friends about the awesome safari you went on, all the cool animals you saw. Of course, your beautiful safari driver, Kate. But actually, that can be one of the first steps in conservation, just letting other people know about these animals, that they exist, that they need our help, and they need it fast. Of course, you can always help out doing things like recycling your cell phones, recycling your household items such as paper, plastic, cans, bottles. All that stuff is really easy for you to do, and it makes a huge impact out there. Another thing that you can do is to donate to a conservation fund, and if you have no idea how to do that, we have one right here for you. It's called the Disney Worldwide Conservation Fund. If you happen to find yourself in a gift shop, and you will, it's a rule or something, look around in there, they have a button. It says Conservation Hero on it. It's the cheapest souvenir you're going to find. All you have to do is give at least $1. You're welcome to give more, and we'd love it if you did, but at least $1. Disney matches every dollar that you give, and all that money goes to helping wildlife and wild places all over the world. And if you think about it, that really just comes back and helps us out, because this is our planet too, so we have a responsibility to help take care of it. Now here in Harambe, we don't like to say goodbye because that's a little sad. So instead we use a different word. Instead we say kwaherini, which means go well. So kwaherini, everyone.
Kwaherini.
Thank you so much for coming with me. Hope you enjoyed yourselves. Remember to come back again soon. It is never the same safari twice out there.